This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hi everybody, welcome to show 257 Aussie Mac Zone. Again, Zarn, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Michael. How are you?
Good, thanks for turning up.
Oh, always happy to be here.
Excellent. Now, this week's sponsors, startnewcompany.com.au and aussietechradio.com. So our Aussie Apple ramblings this week, bit of a mix-up, but anyway, first one's good. New South Wales focuses on risk in 20 million cyber security strategy. The New South Wales government on Friday published its cyber security strategy, taking a whole of government view on how to manage risk. Borrowing the framework laid out by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, the 20-page strategy focuses on 6 themes: lead, prepare, prevent, detect, respond, and recover. And that forms the state's action plan. Notably, the strategy points to the creation of a mandatory cyber incident reporting scheme, interagency information sharing, and cyber security focused training for public servants. During the Auditor General's probe, it was revealed that out of the 10 agencies investigated, 2 have good detection and response processes, 4 had a medium capability, to detect and respond to incidents in a timely manner, and the remaining 4 had low capability. While it was found most agencies have incident response procedures, some lack guidance on who to notify and when, while some did not have response procedures at all. The strategy that hopes to remedy this will be guided by the Cybersecurity Senior Officers Group, which was established under the Office of the Government Chief Information Security Office. So hopefully that's excellent. I'm glad to see New South Wales getting on the front foot, because cybersecurity is such a pain in the neck.
Yep.
From all the way down to us taking responsibility for ourselves.
Yep.
And our stupid things that we do. Trying to help keep our parents up to date. That's another battle. Keeping them trying to make them understand why updating is important.
It is. I can tell you that personally.
Mark, but yeah, just keeping our parents. just it's up to us to guide our parents. You know, if we know a little bit, they know even less. Yeah, please help them out.
Absolutely, I can't agree more. So, what was I going to say? You can wait. No.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. And now, we've got a question for this is open. Anybody want to be on the show as a guest? Please give us a yell.
I remember Judy saying she wanted to be a guest on the show.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks though. She was viewing every week for a while there.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, just send Michael at Aussie Mac Zone an email, and we'll arrange a way of getting you on the show as a guest. Now, there was also a dentist or an eye doc from South Australia who contacted me once, and for the life of me, I could not find that email because I'd like to get him on as a Apple user too. That would be awesome.
And I asked James the other day from Decomp.
Yep.
Because I thought he'd be great to have on, considering his job. And he said he would have loved to, but he's super camera shy.
Okay.
And so he's like, "Oh, I don't want to. I do want to, but I can't." He said.
He can.
I know.
You just have to help him out.
I will. I'll keep hassling him out, and yeah, we'll hopefully get him on here.
Yep. Now, staying abreast of information, like we were just talking about cybersecurity, an Apple 4 lets hackers steal business passwords. Many businesses choose to spend more on Apple smartphones and computers because they're supposed to be safer than more affordable alternatives running Android or Windows. That they are safer than more affordable content. I can guarantee that from the start. but they're not completely bulletproof. I accept that. Now, researchers have discovered a worrying flaw in one Apple service that allows hackers to steal business passwords from Mac OS and iOS devices. Apple has made business customers a big focus in recent years, and it looks to steal a market share from its rivals. It's even entered into partnerships with the likes of IBM, Accenture, and Salesforce to build better business apps. It seems, however, that you should be careful about using Apple devices in businesses right now. A security flaw discovered in Apple device enrollment program. So the researchers with Duo Security have discovered a flaw in Apple devices enrollment program, which help companies manage and secure their Mac and iOS devices that makes possible to steal Wi-Fi and application passwords. The hack involves enrolling a rogue device in the DEP system, then registering it with a company's mobile device management server. And there are a number of methods that can be used to do this. Now, Apple is aware of the problem. Apple has reported this to Apple, and it did so back in May. But Apple hasn't confirmed whether or not anything would be done about it. Now, Apple told Forbes that the possible attacks don't exploit a vulnerability in its own products, and the company does recommend that businesses use authentication. Nevertheless, Barclay is confident some changes will be made. Now, part of this, like the full story is there on a link in the show notes to Cult of Mac. They've actually got to put the serial number of a device somehow onto the system before that device is even added to the mobile management system, which normally gets scanned in from the box of the devices. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly how it's all done, that's beyond my pay grade, unfortunately. Yeah. But it's not a real simple thing. I don't know how many, and it's only this may happen. It's not this has happened. So just be aware of that.
It's a bit freaky deaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of work to get there, but that's what people are trying to do, isn't it?
I reckon. Oh, yeah.
Now, calls for collaboration in government digital transformation. Former CEO of Telstra believes technology can be the enabler and driver of the future of the Australian public service. Risk practice in the federal government is inconsistent and sometimes rudimentary, resulting in the limiting of innovation across the Australian public sector, according to CSIRO Chair David Thodey. There is an obsession with downside risk and little evidence that upside or shared risks are considered, he said, addressing the CPA Congress in Canberra last week. This limits innovation and constrains good leaders and employees from getting things done. Shared risks are a particularly serious issue for the Commonwealth, who need to collaborate with others more often to deliver large and complicated issues. Thody said that in order for the Australian public service to be capable of delivering on the expectations of the future, public-private partnerships as well as intergovernment collaboration will be key. He believes technology can be the enabler and driver of the future of the public service. So I would agree. There's lots of things that the I'm sure can be done to improve public services' ability to speed things up.
Absolutely, they can be.
Even just down to, I know it sounds bad, I know it sounds stupid, robotic answers to questions, because I can't believe the same question doesn't come up millions of times every year. Yeah. And there must be ways of having robotic, artificial intelligence answer those questions.
Absolutely. Well, not even just that. Like even Optus has now you can go online. You have your little app, and you go on, and you can click someone, and someone will actually talk to you.
Yeah.
Online, like it's like it's like a chat screen. And they'll talk to you, and you can tell them what's going on with your modem, or you can tell them what's going on with your phone, and they can either talk you through or give you a reference number to call, so you can call up. Then you've got a reference number that's already, and they've already got the information on what's going on.
Yeah.
And so then you can just call Optus and say, okay, I've got this reference number. You read it out to them. Okay, cool. We know what's going on. We can work with you from there. And, can we get remote access? Like if you're on your computer. And even from the chat screen, they can say, can I please have remote access? And if you give them remote access, they can come in onto your computer and work out the problem that's going on in your computer.
Yeah. Now, just to establish something there,
Yeah.
the order is you create the conversation with Optus.
That's right.
Then they create the request to go on to use your screen.
Yes.
Not they establish a conversation and then request it. That's a very important difference.
Yes, that's right. That's a very important difference.
Crooks and not crooks.
Yes,
You're establishing the conversation.
That's very much yes.
Not
right.
the person that just rang you up.
You contact them, and you tell them what's going on a secure line, not a secure line, but like through the chat in Optus's own app. And you contact them and ask them, and then they, if they can't solve it with you doing it, they can ask for remote access, and you can give it to them.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. You establish.
It's
contact.
not someone ringing up and saying I'm from Optus.
That's right. They're not ringing up and saying, "Hey, can I get onto your computer?"
Yeah.
I need to. And what's your banking password?
Yeah. So please.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind, please, everybody.
Now,
it's very.
This has got nothing to do with anything that we're talking about at the moment.
Yeah.
But we were talking about. I think you sent it to me. Is it Homebush have their unmanned bus?
Yeah, we're coming up to that story.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So now, are you ready?
I am.
This week we are brought to you by our new advertiser, startnewcompany.com.au. Now you get all the legals included, including including a company constitution. You get immediate registration with ASIC. You get to check domain name availability, as well as company name, of course. You can save your progress and come back later, because you might find that IT help to use not available. So you go, oh, okay, do I want IT help, or do you want IT help? That's
because some rude bastards already has it.
That's right. But I was very, very naive early on, like a few years ago, and I set up, got all my business cards printed, got my domain name and everything done, ithelp.com.au, only to find out someone had the domain name.
Yep.
I had the business name, because I did all the domain name stuff, so I was stuffed.
Yep.
So important. Yeah. So don't get caught out. This lets you check the name availability. You can save it, come back later when you thought of another name, if that's the issue. All your docs are kept for a later download. Blank docs are available for future. And you can register anytime, 24/7, 365, and a special limited time at $528. So please keep that in mind. Startnewcompany.com.au. They've thought about the things that you haven't. Because you'll spend a lot more than $528 just going to your solicitor in the first place.
That's right.
Now, here you go, Zarn.
Yep.
New South Wales driverless shuttle completes first passenger trip. The smart shuttle at Sydney Olympic Park will start officially moving passengers next week. The New South Wales government has welcomed the first passengers on its driverless smart shuttle at Sydney Olympic Park, with the service set to officially start next week, marking stage 2 of the state's driverless trial. Through its Smart Innovation Centre, a hub for the collaborative research and development of safe and efficient emerging transport technologies, the New South Wales government in August last year partnered with HMI Technologies, NRMA, Telstra, IAG, and the Sydney Olympic Park Authority to conduct a 2-year trial of the shuttle. Legislation was passed alongside the formation of the hub to approve trials for automated vehicles. The hub has since added the University of Technology, Sydney, The legislation allows governments to partner with industry, researchers, and universities, being a testing ground for automated vehicles, with a trial touted as bringing driverless cars a step closer to reality. But it should say driverless transport because we're talking about a little bus, which is that little bus that you were wondering about in Western Australia's
Yeah,
shot a couple of weeks ago.
that's right. Now, this is great news. I love this.
Yeah.
And listeners and everyone, stay tuned because there will be a video with us on this bus.
Okay. Yeah. I'm positive for that.
Yeah, there definitely will be. We will go out to Homebush. We're not far from there. And we will ride the driverless bus. And we will film it and we'll post it. Because it's exciting stuff. I'm really excited about it. I think it's fantastic. And we've been talking about the last few weeks about driverless cars and transport and things like that. So I think there's why not do a video on that and and fill everybody in that either is too far away or is worried about it and doesn't want to ride it or something like that.
We'll go and have a thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right. We'll get it. We'll take a ride.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's just a tap on and tap off.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, just another thing about vehicles. While we're on the vehicle subject, I was talking to a customer this afternoon who has a Tesla.
Oh, excellent.
She's got the big sedan, not the quote 4-wheel drive, but the big sedan.
Yeah.
Very nice looking car. She rates it highly. She did a lot of investigation and working out the costs and that sort of thing. So even like she was saying, who's the gas company?
AGL.
Yeah, AGL. They got a thing where they'll come and install a meter at your house, so it'll never cost you more than $1 a day to charge your car. Never more than $1 a day. But she's got solar on a house, so she did the numbers and figured she didn't even need that.
Yeah.
And for the amount of driving she does, she figures it'll cost her in electricity costs the same for a year, the same as 2 tanks in a previous car.
Holy crap, that's fantastic.
Huh?
Sometimes I use 2 tanks a week.
Yeah, that's what I do. But yeah, so she's very happy with it. And like you say, like she goes to shopping centre and there's all of these charging points at the shopping centre. Yeah. Some McDonald's now have got charging points.
Wow.
There's charging points up and down the East Coast.
Sydney.
she does live in Western Sydney.
Oh wow! So there's charging points at the McDonald's now.
Oh yeah, it's some of them.
Yeah, right.
Maybe even that new one down at St Mary's. I don't know. I haven't paid enough attention down there.
Yeah, we need to check that out.
So yeah, there are lots of charging points around now. So, 8 years warranty. So that problem about the batteries is not really a problem,
Oh, so the car comes with an 8-year warranty.
Yeah, and
that's fantastic.
And effectively, by comparison, there's no moving parts. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah. And you're right.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, it's not. The car's not accessible to everyday people. The price-wise, they're up there.
They are.
I wish we had a more affordable electric transport. Like
it's still coming.
Yeah, and I'm a rev head, and so are you, and we love our fast cars. But I've seen Teslas race, fast cars. Like I've seen them race tuners. I've seen them race big V8s, and the Tesla always wins.
It's just getting off the line faster. That's all.
That's it is. Like, it's, was it 0 to 100 kilometers in 1.9 seconds?
Oh, I don't know.
It's some ridiculous claim. Like you go onto the Tesla website, and it's a ridiculous claim. 1.9 seconds.
Yep.
0 to 100. Like, yes, please.
And just to go down another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
it was just on the news tonight because it's a year since the Tesla battery went in to South Australia.
Yep.
So 10 times over that year, the batteries have saved the state.
Wow.
You know, from energy fluctuations.
Yep.
Now, part of that is because coal-driven power stations in Victoria and New South Wales have either gone offline or broken down.
Yep.
And also it reacts, like part of the problem that South Australia had before this was it took them 18 hours to react to a big dip in the input of power.
Yep.
And it now takes less than it takes 420 milliseconds, less than a second to do the reaction. They showed you the graph of how it's been going, and it's paying for itself. It's miles out in front.
That's fantastic.
And I'm wrapped. Good on you, South Australia.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Take note, the rest of the country.
Please. Please.
We don't need to mine coal. Like, God damn it.
Old school.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, here's another good thing. Now, look, there's a transition for you that I wasn't expecting. The South Australian Education signs Civica, a company, to digitally transform 900 state schools. The Department of Education for South Australia has announced a digital transformation initiative it hopes will raise education standards across all government schools and preschools in the state. Turning to Civica, the department will be implementing the Civica Education Suite across 900 state schools, including preschools, primary school, high schools, and various other educational institutions. The education management software as a service solution is expected to improve learning and care, improve analytics and reporting, and improve tools support management of sites, with the department also hoping to have consistency in systems across sites to improve reliability, support, resources, and according to Department CIO Scott Bayliss, the SAAS offering will streamline school management tasks and allow teachers to provide individualised learning as the software can track and report on each student's progress. Again, there is more to the story on the link in the show notes. Now, coming back to cars, this one will make us laugh. And more importantly, it's important that they found the issue, right? So now, how a coding error made 293 SUVs unusable. A software error has caused Subaru to completely dispose of 293 of its Accent 2019 SUV. According to a safety recall report filed with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, robots had missed critical welds thanks to improper coding. The robots missed the welds on the car's B-pillars, which holds the hinges to the second row doors.
Jesus.
This gaffe reduced the car's body strength and could lead to passengers being injured in a crash.
Losing a door.
Yeah. The company said that there is no physical remedy available to fix the cars, and as such, all of them will be destroyed instead of being refurbished. It added that thankfully only 9 units were sold to the customers. All of them will receive replacements, just maybe not up to date. Like it won't be a swap over because
because they've had to destroy the rest of them.
Yeah. Subaru said that the defect was found in cars assembled between July 13 and July 21. However, not all the cars assembled during that time had defects. It discovered the widespread flaw when it launched an internal investigation after it initially spotted a single defective vehicle during an audit in July. Earlier in the month, General Motors had to recall 1.2 million vehicles because of a bug caused by the electronic power steering system to momentary malfunction. Now, that happened to my son, I believe, not in the General Motors car, but in this Mitsubishi, because apparently it's got an electric power steering thing, and it just turned around a corner and then it had trouble straightening up. So, scared the crap out of him.
Oh, would have. So if the electronic power steering cuts out, so then it just goes back to normal, straight, old school, heavy turn.
Yeah, in the middle of a corner.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah. Now, although unlike Subaru's incident, the software fix was enough to solve the problem for General Motors, Tesla customers have complained about software crashes multiple times, which had to be fixed through over-the-air updates. Now, the 2018 report for warranty and recall suggests company recalled nearly 8 million vehicles in 2017 because of a software or integrated circuit issue. 8 million.
8 million cars.
And that's got nothing to do with like the airbag recall.
No.
This is just for software or integrated circuit.
Jesus. At their own cost.
Yeah.
Far out.
Which still comes at our cost, doesn't it?
It does. So,
As vehicle,
but I don't understand here. Like, so Subaru have recalled these cars, and it's just a B-pillar world. It's just a tack weld at that.
No, because it might be on the internal welding, and they can't fix it because then now it's already got into external welding on it. You know what I mean? Because they're monocoques now.
Yeah.
So maybe it's an internal one. They can't fix it because the external part's already on there. Okay. They cost them too much to cut it all apart.
Yeah, fair enough. But the 200, was it 236? What did you say?
Yeah, 239, I think.
239, destroying 239 cars because of that weld.
But why not all of them? Maybe because it's only one welding machine was playing up. Or...
Yeah, it must have only been the one welding machine or something that was playing up.
And they might have multiple.
I know, but
they might have multiple, like cars being built on the same line or on different lines. You know, parallel lines as opposed to one line going around like the old days.
Yep.
Don't know. Now again, this week we are ready.
I am.
Brought to you by Aussie Tech Radio at aussietechradio.com with our famous Aussie Tech Heads podcast, our sister podcast, the Aussie Tech Crypto, and that well-known My Tech Opinion podcast. And it's got other podcasts from around Australia. So, yeah, please take a listen. Just have it playing there in the background 24/7. Now, iPhone XS and XS Max reveal some battery surprises. When the iFixit team get their hands on the new iPhones and carry out their usual detailed teardown. Now, as in the case, the teardown of the new XS and XS Max has revealed some interesting details that Apple didn't tell us during the unveiling. The first interesting revelation is that the XS has a smaller battery than one found in the iPhone 10, 10.13 watt hour as opposed to 10.35 watt hours. According to iFixit, the reason for this is that in moving from a design that featured a dual battery, the iPhone XS uses a single-celled L-shaped battery. Now, in order to create a battery with 6 corners, Apple had to add notches to the corners to handle thermal expansion, and this reduced the capacity of the battery. The iPhone XS Max continues to make use of the dual battery system and has a capacity of 12.08 watt hours. As for waterproofing of the new iPhones being bumped from IP67 to IP68, the iFixit team couldn't find any signs of additional sealants or gaskets, leading to believe that Apple may have erred on the side of caution and undersold waterproof capabilities of last year's handsets. Now, iFixit gave both the XS and XS Max a 6 out of 10 on repairability, down in part to how easy it is to replace the display and battery. But breaking the back glass still gives you a world of hurt.
That's not a great rating.
Oh, it's pretty good for an iPhone because Apple restrict how much, what you can do, when you can do it, how you can do it, how you can get the parts.
Yeah.
Now, I want everybody to take a deep breath. Houston mayor pushes back against proposed robot brothel. A Canadian company wants to open a so-called robot brothel in Houston. but is getting some pushback from officials and community groups, with the
Using
mayor
word pushback.
saying the city is reviewing its ordinances to determine if they address public safety and health concerns potentially associated with the business. I wonder if the mayor's going to go in and take a personal look at the problem. So Mayor Sylvester Turner says he's not trying to be the moral police, but this is not the type of business he wants opening in the city. Kinky S Dolls says it's opening a Love Dolls brothel.
Sorry. It's a fantastic name.
They're saying a Love Dolls brothel in Houston. It opened a similar venue in Toronto in 2017. The company hasn't returned a call or email asking for comment since Thursday. Maybe they're too busy charging the batteries. I don't know.
You're sure they could have a robotic response?
Yeah. Where's the artificial intelligence there?
I reckon.
Hang on, we'll look at his Facebook profile. Oh, he likes blondes.
Maybe their mouths are all full. I'm sorry. That was horrible.
Now, getting back to a more serious note.
Yes.
I've got a couple of little things here. Google criticised for Chrome change that logs users in without telling them. Now, the issue is complex, but it revolves around how and when people choose to log into the Chrome browser, which is different than logging into Google service. In past versions of the browser, this was a voluntary step. Doing so means users can sync information like bookmarks and passwords and browsing history between devices, a feature Google calls Chrome Sync. It also means that their user data is stored on Google's servers, something that some people understandably are unhappy about. But with Chrome 69, the latest version of the browser, whenever someone logs into Google service like Gmail or YouTube, they are now automatically logged into Chrome as well. This, say critics, is an underhand change that will nudge people into inadvertently sharing more data with Google. Yeah, just to pick on Google some more.
Yep.
Google remotely changed the settings on a bunch of phones running Android 9 Pie. A mix of people who own Google Pixel phones and other devices running Android 9 Pie noticed that the software's battery saver feature had been switched on, seemingly all by itself. And oddly, this was happening when the phones were near a full charge, not when the battery was low. As reported by Android police, it officially was assumed that this was some kind of minor bug in the later version of Android, which was only released a few weeks ago. Some users thought they might have just enabled the battery saver without realizing it. But it actually was Google at fault. The company posted a message on its Reddit last night acknowledging an internal experiment to test battery saving features that was mistakenly rolled out to more users than intended. So Google had remotely and accidentally changed a phone setting for a bunch of real-world customers.
Okay, so didn't Apple just got in huge trouble for this sort of thing? With the batteries.
Changing battery settings and stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So Apple just got. Why aren't they? Why Google getting in trouble?
I think because it only just happened.
Well.
But yeah, like the idea is they logged on to didn't happen to me. They logged on to my phone, changed the setting. Now that could be track me 100% of the time, as opposed to the battery without telling you, without even, we accidentally did it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But not turn it off.
Yeah.
So it's interesting they didn't go back, and once they realised that they didn't turn it off.
Yeah, that's right. Why didn't they turn it off? Like they're saying sorry, but they didn't turn it off, so they're not sorry.
Just a very unusual thing.
Saying sorry means you won't do it again. I tell my son, if you say sorry, it means you won't do it again.
But Google, as we discussed, is 20 years old. It's not 3 or 4 years old. So they should know by now. Now, here's, I think, something that's very awesome. So we're talking about Apple has sent out a document outlining what metal-capable graphics cards are compatible with Mac OS Mojave, which they've just released. This is for 2010, so that's 9-year-old machines, and 2012 Mac Pro models. Now, Apple's new Mojave update is not compatible with mid-2010, like, get it? Mid-2010 machines.
Yep.
And mid-2012 Mac Pros with stock GPUs, but is supported on 2010 and 2012 Mac Pro models that have been upgraded with graphic cards to support metal. Apple shared a new support document that provides a list of graphics cards that are metal capable and will be useful for owners who want to purchase a new graphics card to upgrade to Mojave. Now, you can check to see if your graphics card is compatible by holding down the option while selecting the Apple logo to access system information. Under graphics displays, if supported, is listed next to the metal entry. The graphics card will work with Mojave. Now, according to Apple, once a metal-capable graphics card has been installed in a 2010 or 2012 Mac Pro, Mojave can be downloaded and installed after turning off 5 volt. That's another little thing. You got to turn off 5 volt, which is good anyway. So, yeah. So Apple are making it so quite simple for you to upgrade your 10-year-old computer.
That sounds pretty simple.
So, yeah, got that right. 8-year-old computer, sorry.
Yeah, 8-year-old computer. And who doesn't support metal?
Yeah. But, yeah, like an 8-year-old or a 6-year-old machine for the later ones,
yeah,
they're still supporting it.
Yeah,
like most people are throwing their PCs away after that amount of time.
Most people are throwing their PCs away after 3 years.
So they're telling you how to get your machines to run because they work so well still.
Yeah.
A lot of people are running them still. So
how old's my machine?
Which one?
My desktop.
The one at home or the one here?
Well, one at home.
It's a 2008 or 2010, something like that. Yeah, 2008, I would say, actually.
And it's still fantastic.
So. Now, anything else, Zarn? I've got nothing.
Oh, yes. So, of course, we're talking about the electronic charging your cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and see if I can find out where some of them are around here.
Yeah.
So when we come back next week, I'll let you know.
Good.
And I think that's really about it. I'm really interested in that because I really like electric cars.
Yeah. Something else you said too that I actually wasn't aware of, that the Tesla actually comes with a little charging system in the boot. So you just plug in any 240 volt power system. Any 240 volt power system.
Oh, so you can just run a cable from your house, like just extension cord.
Yeah, if you've gone to your parents' place and left the headlights on or whatever, and you need to just give it a zap, you just plug into a normal 240 volt system.
Fantastic.
You don't need a special system or all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, it's excellent. I'm part of a electric car page on Facebook. It's just for Australia. Predominantly Australian cars, or all Australian cars, and the innovations they're doing with Australian cars and electric cars. Sorry, and they're hoping to get a cheaper version of the electric car here really soon.
Good.
So hopefully we'll see those in the next few years.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm excited about electric cars. Even though I am a petrol head, I really like electric cars. I think they're great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's it for this week. We would like to say thanks to our sponsors. This week being, do you remember?
I do.
Our new sponsor is called startnewcompany.com.au, and our fantastic little radio station. 24/7 it is.
You can listen to it whenever you want.
Yeah, AussieTechRadio.com. Now, more importantly, no doubt, our supporters, you, our listeners. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
always.
Anybody that wants to come on and share a hosting, make comment, please, Michael at AussieMaxZone.com.au.
even just message the Facebook page.
Yeah,
Like, you can just send a personal message on that Facebook page, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible.
we can tell you how to get set up to get log in. It's nothing too dramatic about it.
Yep.
Everything we use is free. So at that end, no problem. Thank you. Over to you, Zarn.
Thank you, guys. Thank you to our sponsors, and remember, Apple a day keeps the Androids away. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.